This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Matt Macklin here in London. Matt, firstly, how are you?
I'm good, not bad. Pretty lively press conference there. So just looking forward to the fights now.
Obviously, everybody's looking forward to those fights. It's been 5 weeks coming now, or longer than that if you can include the build up to the first round of when it was meant to go ahead. Start off with that main event. It was very feisty in there, to say the least, as was the co-main as well.
Yeah, I mean, at times you could just hear noise, couldn't you? Because they were both talking at the same time. So it's like, it's frustrating because you're thinking you'd rather just one speak, then you speak, but because they're kind of going at it, and I was further back, I think, than you. It was hard to sort of make out what they were saying. You could just see they were going at it. So I couldn't tell you what got said, but I know it was intense.
A lot has been made of that amateur fight going back to when they previously crossed paths. Matt, why do you think that it is brought up at this stage in their careers, 10 years on from when they crossed paths back in 2012? How significant do you feel that is heading into this fight for either of them to think about?
I don't know. Look, it was 10 years ago, a long time. Clarissa was 17. But then, Savannah wasn't old either. Was she 20, 21 at the time? So, Clarissa will be a completely different fighter now than she was then. But so will Savannah. They both have improved. And I think because it's her solitary defeat ever, it is going to come up, isn't it? And obviously they're fighting each other and have boxed before. So, what significance, what relevance does that mean now? It was a long time ago. I don't know. We'll find out. Sometimes as well, though, some people do have your number. Stars make fights and that. And, I don't know that Savannah has Clarissa's number. I don't know the circumstances leading into the fight. Was it you can have an off night. Maybe she had an off night, Clarissa maybe. Because what she achieved after that certainly superseded what Savannah achieved. Even though Savannah achieved a lot, but not Clarissa's achievements are up here. Her resume, is unparalleled. So it's like, I was thinking about this earlier and thinking, well, who do I think is going to want to win this fight really? Because, I'm trying to think how Clarissa boxes, and I know that kind of relaxed, loose style Savannah's got, which is a lot easier have that style and be relaxed when you're dictating the terms, dictating the distance, dictating the pace. You can go for a walk when you want to go for a walk, but when someone's constantly feinting, you're constantly touching, you're constantly driving body shots in, forcing a pace, it's not so easy to be relaxed. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden you're under pressure here now. But I spoke with Savannah quite a bit last night when we had her on the podcast, and she's so confident that like we said earlier, that's infectious, isn't it? It's hard not to get swayed, but then you have to remind yourself that you're talking to the fighter here, and they're in that mindset. And I'm sure if we do get a chance to speak in depth with Clarissa later, she'll be exactly the same, and I'll probably feel the same then. So I don't know. I just think stars make fights. Savannah might just be her bogeyman. She might just have that number, might have her number. But it was a long time ago, so I don't know. We're just trying to pull bits of information. You're trying to weigh things up and come to a conclusion, because you do want it. You'd rather put your neck on the line and give a prediction, but I don't know. I find it hard to pick one. Like I say, when I spoke last night with Savannah, she was so adamant that she believes she's going to stop her late. She thinks that Clarissa will be awkward early on, but she thinks that she's a 6-round fighter, that she'll be sharp early, but she'll fade second half, and that's when she'll tag her.
Is this a fight which is as simple as what people have suggested? That's Clarissa's maybe a bit more of a boxer and Savannah the heavier-handed of the two, not discrediting Savannah's boxing skills, but the way it's been portrayed throughout the week?
Yeah, not discrediting Savannah's boxing skills, and you're not discrediting Clarissa's punching power, but it's more of an outstanding feature of Savannah's that she hits really hard, and it's probably more of an outstanding feature of Clarissa's that she's, her technical boxing ability and her speed. So, and her volume as well. She's quite busy. And like I say, Savannah likes to relax and go for a little walk. And when someone's constantly on you, it's not so easy to do that. And then that could affect her whole rhythm. So it's got to be interesting. I think certainly first half of the fight, you got to say Clarissa's going to have the better of that. Whether or not then she fades and Savannah comes on strong, which is what I'm probably thinking is going to happen. But, I could have it completely wrong.
Matt, Mayer-Baumgardner again, very feisty press conference between the pair of them. Who do you edge towards?
Do you know what? I think Mayer might be technically better. I think she's busier, the output and all that, but she does stand in the firing line. She does get hit, and Alicia Baumgardner can really bang, as we've seen, when she knocked out Terry Harper. So I'd probably lean to Baumgardner in that one.
Matt, just away from this card, get your thoughts on a couple of other topics. Of course, last week we saw big news about Conor Benn having a positive VADA test, putting on hold his bout with Eubank Jr, which was meant to take place this past weekend. Just going back to it, what was your reaction when you heard that news?
I just remember thinking, wow, what a messy situation. I just felt sorry for all the people on the undercard, and I felt sorry for Eubank Jr as well. You know, he obviously made that weight, and you know, and then. You know, I really like Conor Benn, and you know, you feel, you know, it's one of those situations, isn't it? It's just messy, isn't it? But look, I think they did the right thing. They couldn't let the fight go ahead. No way, could they? Absolutely not. But you feel sorry for all the people on the undercard that have trained so hard, that have probably, you know, made so many sacrifices over so many weeks, and probably invested thousands of pounds in their training expenses. You know, and then for all the hard work and everything just to go down the pan. But you know, the reality is, I only know what you know. I've only been following it on social media, the same as yourself and everyone else. I don't have any other insight to it than what you do, so I don't really know anything. And I think when you don't know the facts, it's better just to shut your mouth and wait and let it all play out and unfold. And because you never know what's going to come out. You know, people might have information that they're not telling us yet. So yeah, I don't really have anything to say on it.
I mean, it is a developing story, as you say, Matt, and you know, I saw some comments from Eddie Hearn saying that he's expecting Conor to make some form of a statement over the next week or two to attempt to clear his name, but just kind of to touch on a couple of things around it. Obviously, it came out to us and became public from an article from the Daily Mail. Now, obviously, with your dealings when you was a fighter with the board, do you feel like if it wasn't for that Daily Mail article, we would have found out?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I can't say. All I know is, look, you know, I just feel sorry for everyone involved, not just the fighters, the promoters, the managers, everyone. You know, and look, he has tested positive, so it doesn't look good. If it then transpires that I don't know what it could possibly be, the reason for that. But if there is one, because Conor's saying he's innocent, and I've always liked Conor Benn, you know, and if he is innocent, it does come out that, well, then it's been a traumatic and hard thing for him, but. You know, I think everyone just has to kind of hold fire and wait to see what the facts are, because it's all assumptions and, you know, people saying it. But, you know, I don't know anything. I'm literally on the outside looking in. I don't have any more insight on it than anyone else. So until it becomes definite, I just want to stay quiet.
I respect obviously you want to stay quiet, but there's still a couple of questions around it I just want to get your thoughts on. What do you make of the image of boxing on the back of last week? How damaging of a look did it give?
Well, I think anything negative is never good, is it? But again, because when something's still ongoing, I don't want to throw my 2 pence bit in. Do you know what I mean? I just want to reserve my opinion until facts are made. And right now, I just want to. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say anything and then I regret saying it, because I don't. It's an ongoing thing, isn't it? So until I think we just have to let it. Give the respect that it's just let it play out. Let the people that are dealing with it deal with it. And when it does all unfold and we know the full facts, then we can speak about it then.
I can tell you it's not something which you want to kind of delve too deep into, but the only thing I want to touch on it is then the video of Dr. Usman Sajjad suggesting there's ways around testing and that. What did you make of that video that kind of went viral?
Do you know what? I didn't see that video. No, I've heard of it, but I didn't see it, so...
That's fair enough. Matt, yeah, it's just a video going around from him suggesting that there's certain time frames when people can get away from testers, going to visit them and work around their cycles. So I just want to get your thoughts about that. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, that's all good. Final thing, in fact, Eubank Sr this morning was on TalkSport. Did you see his comments?
No.
So just to go and get your thoughts on him, he said to have on Junior this season, he said, okay, well, I'm being moved on then, not being allowed to talk about fights. So away from that then, Fury Chisora. Matt, your thoughts?
Look, we'd rather see Fury AJ, but with that not happening, I think it's good that Fury's staying active. And I know he's already beaten Chisora, but Chisora's coming off a good win. You know, the fight before that, he had a hard fight with Parker, but it was an entertaining fight. And it's not it's not that long ago. He had Usyk had life and death with Chisora. Like Chisora's a hard night for anyone. So Fury's going to be a massive favourite. And I understand why people are disappointed after the talk of AJ. But I think it's better for Fury to stay active and fight than to just sit around and get sluggish. He's staying sharp. He's staying in the gym. He probably needs the motivation of a fight in order to do that. So, Chisora's always in entertaining fights. Fury's a big favourite, but I think Chisora will always be will bring the pressure, so he'll make it an entertaining fight.
Do you understand the fans' frustration around that?
I'm frustrated. I'm a boxing fan. I wanted to see AJ and Fury, of course, but sometimes things aren't quite as simple as number one fight, number two. People are aligned with different promoters. There's different networks. Maybe he wants to fight by a certain date. He doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more complex than that.
Away from that one, Joshua Wallin. I spoke to Otto Wallin a couple of days ago, and he said that his team had reached out to Anthony Joshua's team about a potential fight. Just get your thoughts if that one was to go ahead. Do you think it's a good move for AJ?
Look, a similar thing to what I said about Fury and Chisora, in the sense that, okay, he hasn't boxed him already, but if they're not going to fight each other, then rather than just sitting around idle, I think they're better off fighting. And like Wallin's a credible opponent, and Chisora, so these are top heavyweights. They might not be top 5 heavyweights, but they're probably top 10. So look, I think he's better fighting Wallin than not fighting.
Deontay Wilder returning this weekend against Wilder-Helenius. Matt, what do you expect to see from Deontay? How much do you feel he has left on the back of some grueling fights with Tyson?
We don't know, do we? We have to see what this will be interesting, because they were gruelers with Fury. They will have taken a lot out of him. So it will be interesting to see how he performs against Helenius, definitely.
Right, Matt, we'll leave it there now. Leave it to enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
All right, cheers.